Welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you've ever spent hours, and I mean literally hours, perfecting a research paper only to hit a massive brick wall on how to cite a random yet completely brilliant video essay you found online, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're demystifying the real requirements for formally citing digital media, specifically locking in on how to properly reference a YouTube video. You know, it kind of seems straightforward at first glance, right? But digital content actually has this whole unique set of rules when it comes to giving proper academic credit. So let's just get straight into the mechanics of making sure your citations are absolutely bulletproof. Okay, let's dive into this. Because this right here is exactly where the whole dilemma of digital ownership and academic credit begins. Think about it. When you hold a physical printed book, the author's name is literally stamped right there on the cover. Super easy. But when you're watching a digital video on a massive online platform, who actually gets the credit? Identifying the quote-unquote author in a digital space can be incredibly tricky. I mean, is it the person you see talking on the screen? Is it the corporate sponsor who paid for the video? Or is it the account that actually clicks the upload button? Getting this right is the absolute foundation of your entire citation. Now, I want us to totally shift how we think about formatting. Instead of viewing a citation as this, incredibly tedious chore or just a list of random boring rules to memorize, I want you to look at it as a structural blueprint. It's like a giant puzzle. Just like building a house requires specific materials placed in a very specific order to make sure the walls don't cave in, your reference requires specific pieces of data assembled step by step. If you follow the blueprint, your academic integrity remains completely structurally sound. So what exactly are the building materials for this blueprint? We're going to move pretty fast here, so stick with me. To build a complete reference for a YouTube video, you absolutely must record a specific set of ingredients. Let's imagine you're citing this fantastic 2-hour tech documentary by Marques Brownlee. First up, you need the creator or the channel responsible, so Marques Brownlee, or MKBHD. Got it? Next, the year it was published. Then, the exact video title. After that, a format description. This is usually something like YouTube video, just tucked inside brackets, depending on your style guide. You're also going to need the full upload date, the direct URL to the video, and finally, the access date. That's the exact day you personally went online and viewed it. Gather up these core ingredients and you've got the whole shebang. Right, so gathering all that data for your final reference list at the very end of your document is one thing, but how do we actually handle this inside the main body of your writing? Well, this is where in-text citations come into play. When you're writing your paragraphs and you just need to briefly point the reader to your source, the rule is wonderfully simple. All you got to use in the text is the creator or the channel name, right alongside the year. That's literally it. So just Brownlee 2023. It keeps your writing super clean and it directly points your reader to that full blueprint we just built in your bibliography. But wait, what happens when you're pulling a direct quote or you want to point to a very specific visual moment in that massive 2-hour-long Marques Brownlee documentary? Listen closely to this one because this is an absolute requirement for precise referencing. You must use a timestamp. You simply add a timestamp to your citation whenever you're quoting or discussing a specific moment in the video. You can kind of think of a timestamp as the digital equivalent of a page number in a printed book. It brilliantly shows how we're adapting those old-school traditional academic standards to modern digital media. It tells your reader exactly where to jump in the timeline so they can verify your exact point. Okay, now we got to talk about a really common, but honestly kind of absurd mistake. You should never ever cite only YouTube as the author. Just think about it for a second. Imagine an independent creator spending weeks writing, filming, and editing this brilliant documentary, and in your research paper you give all the credit to a multi-billion-dollar tech platform. No way, it just doesn't make sense. You should only ever cite YouTube as the author if YouTube actually produced the content themselves, like, a YouTube Originals movie. Otherwise, the credit always belongs to the creator or the channel. So, the crucial point here is navigating the difference between the face on the screen and the name on the account. You have to actively distinguish the person who is speaking in the video from the account that actually published it. Why? Well, because depending on the specific rules you're following, your guide might prioritize the uploader as the official author of the piece. The person talking on camera might just be an actor or maybe an interviewee, but the publishing account, the uploader, is often recognized as the entity legally and academically responsible for that content being out there in the world. So definitely always double-check who the official uploader is to ensure you're totally accurate. Now, if hunting down all these specific names, exact titles, full dates, and URLs sounds like a massive, headache-inducing manual data gathering process, take a breath.
We live in the digital age, people, and there's a highly satisfying resolution to all this manual labor. You actually do not have to build that final citation string entirely by hand. There are amazing automation tools out there that take all those raw ingredients you've gathered and instantly format them into that perfect structural blueprint we talked about earlier. It is a real game changer.
Let's move to the next step and see how this builds into a totally foolproof two-step procedure. Step 1 is entirely on you. You absolutely must carefully verify the channel name, the upload date, the exact title, and the link. Accuracy here is everything. But once you've verified those details, step 2 is a breeze. You just take that data and generate your reference. According to our source material, you can use the Harvard Reference Generator at harvardreferencegenerator.co.uk. You just plug in your verified information, and boom, the tool does all the heavy lifting to format it perfectly for your bibliography. So we've covered the whole shebang, the mechanics, the blueprints, the timestamps, and the tools to make your life easier. But I want to leave you with a final, slightly deeper thought to chew on as you go forward with your own research. As digital content continues to evolve, why does precise crediting matter more than ever? In an internet age where content is just endlessly copied, clipped, and shared without any context, maintaining digital authority and academic precision isn't just about blindly following rules. It's about protecting the truth and genuinely honoring original work. Keep that in the back of your mind the next time you reference a digital source. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.